crazy, guys. Let's do it. It's my favorite part of the show. I think it's everybody else's. Hey, we've been talking about Nurse. We've been talking about the defense. We've been talking about pairings. We've been talking about Klingberg. You know, Doc's probably playing the best hockey of his career. The fact that there hasn't been all the heat. The fact that he's not getting blamed for the traffic on Stony Plain Road anymore. It says a lot. And he's been doing that with either, Kulak or Stetcher or, insert name here on his side. It's not Bouchard and it's not Ekholm. So, for the first time and when I can remember, like Nurse is carrying his defensive pair. And the other thing we know about Doc is that every time he's paired with a puck moving defenseman or somebody that can wheel, he's a better version of himself. It happened with Barry. It's happened with others in the past, like last year in the playoffs with Broberg. If Klingberg can be anywhere close to the skater or puck mover and zone exit that Broberg was, my statement is this: call me crazy, but Doc's playing the best hockey of his career, and Klingberg might actually make him better. Bob?
Crazy. I don't think Doc's playing the best hockey of his career. I thought his 2020-2021 season was absolutely phenomenal. Even received some Norris votes. And I don't think that Nurse has reached that status yet. I think he's getting a resurgence in his career after having a couple of years where, he may have been floundering a little bit, had some stellar games and then kind of leveled off and make some crucial mistakes. I think there's times he felt he had to be the defense leader, would try to force some plays that weren't there because the team is struggling. So he felt like he was one of the guys who had to pick it up. Now, I think overall, he sees the whole team dynamic a little bit better. It helps to have Ekholm there to help shoulder some of that load. And I guess in that sense, Klingberg, another veteran, could help shoulder some of that load as well as being a defensive leader. I don't think it'll make Nurse that much better than what he already is, but he could be of assistance in that way a little bit.
I feel like you tripped over both sides of your lips there, but I'll take that as a crazy call no matter what. Like you said, he probably could and compliments him well. So, he's got to be better than the Stetcher or whoever's been. It's not like Stetcher's been carrying Nurse at any point in time this season. And I'll put the asterisks on your Norris voting season only for, and I am a huge Darnell Nurse fan and supporter, that was the bubble season. He only had to play Canadian teams, and there was a little bit of an advantage in there.
One of the Canadian teams made the final.
Yeah, it's true. Ryan, call me crazy.
You know how much I love to do it, but I can't do it this time. Yeah, you're totally right in saying that Nurse played some of his best hockey alongside Tyson Barrie, and that was during the COVID-shortened season. What it does is it means that if they can get the puck out faster when Nurse is on the ice, then he spends less time defending, and that's big, right? Nurse loves to reverse the puck, and notice that's a big trend with him. So it's a big difference if he's reversing it to John Klingberg versus Troy Stetcher, right? Or even Brett Kulak. Kulak's been unbelievable this year, but Klingberg is a superior puck mover to all of them. So from that perspective, I think he's going to be a really good fit with Nurse. And I think when they're on the ice, if they're on the ice with Leon, the way he's playing, like they're going to possess the puck 90% of the time. The only downside I see to the fit with Klingberg and Nurse is that Klingberg is not a noted rush defender. He doesn't defend the blue line super well. Neither does Nurse. So maybe they're a little more susceptible to the rush. That's what logic would force you to jump to. Maybe it just means they play bigger gaps and they're trying not to get beat wide. We'll see how it plays out. But I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time in their own end defending because they're going to possess the puck a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't say that any better. I don't think so. I can't really disagree with that either. I really like the unique points that you make about being able to defend the rush. And I think that's also why Kulak can complement Nurse, because he's probably the best defenseman we have at closing gaps on this team. Michael, call me crazy.
I mean, look, we can't possibly know. It's just too hard to know which Klingberg we're going to get. The challenge, though, that I see, and the only thing that I could see being a problem is Darnell Nurse is this guy that gets out there, and if he's asked to do too much, he does too much, right? Like in a bad sort of way. And he's been sort of tempered by having a really solid defensive strategy, I think, that the Oilers have put in place. He's got Ekholm now. He's got Bouchard. We can look at this now and say, like, part of maybe what Nurse is, why he's doing so well is he has to be responsible, right? And the concern might be that as soon as you put Klingberg on with him, that'll, he'll think, well, I've got Klingberg now to help me out. This is the mental part of playing, any sport or anything. And so, whether that's going to be the case, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But he is playing some of his best hockey, whether it's his best season or not, it's one of, there's never a point at which, I see Darnell Nurse out there anymore where, I get this, concern in me. And I talked about that breakaway pass. That's his third pass like that this year, I think. He's just been outstanding in that regard. And gone are the days of the slap shot around the corner, like all the way, like that slap shot pass he used to do. That would be, it was, I think Stauffer said it best. He's gone from being a transporter to a transitioner, and I love that about him. So, look, if it could go either way, I'm excited to see it though. Klingberg's better than I think the guys he's playing with today. So, on paper, it looks like it should be. He should be better.
I think the real right answer to this statement is the one that you said. We don't really know yet, and we can't know yet. That slap shot pass is called the strutty, and I think you said something without saying it there, and maybe you didn't mean it, or maybe you did, but it made me think about it. Is the fact that he had to play with Stetcher, or maybe somebody that's typically a number 5-6 defenseman as a partner forced him to simplify his game, and to your point, when he keeps it simple, he's a lot better. Patrick, Klingberg might actually make Darnell Nurse even better. Call me crazy.
Yeah, provided he can come back, and he doesn't even have to be at 100%, but I think a few people have mentioned it. As long as he's better than Troy Stetcher, he's going to make Darnell Nurse better. And to your point earlier too, comparing this season to the bubble season, I'm way more impressed with this season because, you're playing the whole National Hockey League, and I think Darnell Nurse took a big step, and I think it was more in the bubble season, how many points he was getting too, that really stood out. But not that he wasn't playing well, but he was playing well defensively too. But so I think, as long as Klingberg can come in and be better than Troy Stetcher, then of course he'll make Darnell Nurse better, I think so. But to Michael's point as well, it's too early to know for sure, but best guess, then yes, he would improve Darnell Nurse.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, that Norris season, every point he had was 5-on-5. I think he was top 5 in almost every 5v5 category that year. So totally agree.